Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Hytale podcast, your number one source for podcasts in the world, and Hytale Talking. I'm Chris with Myne. Hey, and we're talking about the spooky undead faction today. Roll the intro. Bang! That was a good intro. I think it was pretty good. While Myne is eating something right now. I'm sick. You're eating. What a good start to the podcast. You know, I can't even see. I don't even have my contacts in because I have such a headache. I'm gonna put my glasses on.
Yeah, Chris, you're sick. They got you. Baron got you.
He got me. He got me. I don't know. I got a headache right now. I just put on my glasses because I didn't want to wear my contacts today. So now I can see. Ooh, wow.
Yeah, bro. I woke up like an hour ago, and I was up until 2 a.m. working.
Oh, God.
So
you're tired.
We are both definitely not in our best conditions, but we are here for the Hytale podcast. Look,
Because we love you.
Chat. Listen, I love you guys more than Chris.
What?
I have been available to do the Hytale podcast, and he has messaged me like 3 times, being like, "Pod tonight" or "Pod this week," and then I say yes every single time. And then he messages me the day after he wanted to, and he's like, "Oh shit, I forgot."
I messaged you that one time. You should have followed up. I was free. You should have followed up. When did I text you that? Well, you said I said Tuesday recorded. You said possibly, and then nothing happened. And then that was also Then on Tuesday morning I texted you pod tonight. You said yes, and then I forgot. My bad. But if you reminded me, I would have been there. But I forgot.
Now maybe I forgot too, but
yeah. Okay. Other than that, and then
maybe I forgot too. But
and then on Friday, I'm like, "What day can you record?" And we said any day, and that's now. So only once missed, so we're fine.
Is today Friday?
No,
today's Sunday.
Today's Sunday, but on Friday I texted you what day, and you said any day. So
yeah, I figured we could have done. Okay,
we could have done. I could have done yesterday too.
Never mind.
Yeah, well, we're recording now. That's really all that matters. Is that it's gonna get out today. So.
Look, we got a Hytale podcast. We don't have any Hytale news, and I don't think we're getting a Hytale news before. What's your guess? Maybe March.
Yeah,
March is my guess. Yeah.
Like
I think
February.
I think March.
Is February like historically been the driest month ever for Hytale news? Like someone should like make a stat of how much news.
Someone has that. Someone probably has that. I don't think
ever
they
gone
count.
To February blog. I'm looking right now.
I don't think they count John tweets or like Buddha tweets or Reddit or whatever, but I think official posts, I think someone has made that. I know Panther has something similar. Panther, I don't know if you watched this video. Send it in the Discord if you are about when they post, because I know he has a stat like that.
We've gotten 5 Hytale blog posts in our lifetime, and 4 of them were in February of 2019.
5 blog posts in our lifetime? What?
In February. I don't know if I cut out. And 4 of them were February 2019 when they did weekly blogs. So that was a good February, by the way, if I remember correctly. One of them was a fan art.
Weekly blogs.
Yeah, they did one February 1st, February 8th, February 15th, and they did a fan art February 22, the first ever fan art blog.
Hey, by the way, if you guys didn't know, I think it's like so far past the amount of like the actual planned date for it that I'll just like talk about it. There is a planned fan art blog post. And when I say planned fan art blog post, there was a planned fan art blog post like 2, I think maybe even 3 years ago now. Where they reached out to creators.
Mm-hmm.
They can't really talk more about it. They basically asked for permission, like, "Hey, we might like look to do something like this in the future," and then it never came out. So curious what happened to that fan art blog post. They probably decided internally, "Hey, maybe we're going through a drought, and we shouldn't drop a blog that is fan art." I think it makes sense why they don't drop a fan art. I'm just saying there was a planned one. I don't know if I'm allowed to leak that, actually, now that I say that. But I don't think it's that bad. It's a fan art blog post from like 3-4 years ago.
They didn't reach out to you personally, did they?
No.
No, okay, then you're fine.
And no one knows where I got the info from.
No, exactly. I mean, I totally haven't heard the same thing. So,
but I think it's fine. It's a fan art blog from 4 years ago. I think.
Yeah, the last fan art blog was September 24th, 2020. So that was like prime COVID when there was nothing to talk about.
I do miss fan art blog posts because fan art blog posts means there's other blog posts to give us substance, and they're like,
That's true.
hey, we can slide a fan art one in. I do remember there was, yeah, I mean in 2020, hold on, that was still, no, that was monthly.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was
never mind.
2019 was the last time they did weekly blogs, and then it died.
Because I remember the last fan art blog post was kind of sad. Because yeah, they did monthly. They did July, August, September.
Yeah.
The September was a fan art, and then there was nothing in November. In October, there was nothing in November, and we were like, whoa, 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 whoa! Is fan art the last blog we're getting? And then we get one December 10th, which was the 2020 winter development update.
Was that not the first thing? No, that was the second thing.
Yeah. Nothing for 2021 until July 1st.
Yeah.
And that was everyone's favorite blog post.
I hate that blog
post. The delay got announced. So
what a blog that was.
I don't want to be that guy, but that fan art blog post kind of spawned the end of blog posts, even though we got a winter one.
Yeah, because we at that time, like you said, we were getting monthly blogs. Everything was like ramping up nicely. Like they added moss horns and got some good gameplay footage going on, and all of these were like, oh shit, Hytale's looking fancy.
Whoa.
What?
Buddha is gonna love what you just said.
What, that we got moss horns?
You said everything was ramping up nicely. We got moss horns.
Oh god. Uh-oh. He's gonna quote me on that.
Buddha, that one's for you.
I mean, maybe moss horns were announced before that. I don't remember.
Meme Few. That one's for you too.
Well, I made a song about them, so.
Yeah, you made it stinky, the moss horn, but
I mean,
you did make a song. It's
was
kind of like a love song, to be honest.
Kind of like for charity.
If you make a song for a single animal in Hytale, that's kind of showing your love.
Maybe.
I mean,
perhaps
you showed your love towards the Quebecs too. I'm a Quebec
after all. I mean, that was a good song.
That song is going crazy. That's everyone's favorite song.
I don't blame them. It's an absolute banger.
I think it's the most streamed one next to the music video, but that one makes sense because it's a music video. Everyone's saying like, hey, that chorus is in my head. Now, to be fair, it is a multi-platinum song, and so of course that chorus is going to be stuck in your head.
Yeah, Rag and Bones Man kind of cooked with the lyrics on that one.
But, you know,
yeah,
Quebec doesn't help. Look, if the original was I'm a Quebec after all, it wouldn't be multi-platinum. It would be like
multi-dimensional.
Like they would create a new rank.
Like it would probably
music certifications.
Like you know how Marvel's breaking the multiverse right now? Like that song would probably do that if Hytale were to come out.
That would split the universe in half, actually.
Yeah, our bad, by the way, if that does happen. we'll take full credit for it.
But we did it after Mr. Rag and Bone Man, so we kind of saved the universe if you think about it.
Yes, that's true, because maybe his song would have done that. But anywho, there's been 7 job openings or tweaks in the last, I guess, 2 days, because it's the 12th now. These all happened on the 10th. If you want to take a look at the job postings, go ahead. There's a UX designer, some engineers gameplay. There's an HR officer position that was tweaked. I don't know if they're new or tweaked or whatever, but go check it out. Hytale website. They're still hiring. Yeah.
Wait, I could be eligible for HR?
HR officer? What are you eating, by the way?
Overnight oats.
Oh, yeah, nice. HR officer. Who are you?
Let me see. We can. Is there any prereqs?
Oh, they can offer you a gym membership. Look at that.
Oh, let's go. Hold on.
My God.
Excellent communicator. Okay, and passionate across different disciplines and time zones. I can do that. Effectively triage queries and escalate more serious issues. I can do that.
Look, free parking.
You have excellent attention to detail and the ability to handle high volume tasks to deadlines. Yeah, I mean, if you my next video is going to come out. That one's an extreme attention to detail. Mm-hmm. You can work on multiple tasks and project. Yeah, Hytale project, my project, work. You are a creative problem solver. Yeah, man, figuring out how to clickbait Hytale for the past 5 years.
Hell yeah.
I'm signing up for this job.
Lunch provisions. Oh, let me.
Base salary starting from 30K pounds.
What's that in Canadian? That's pound. Oh, I thought that was euro. That is pounds.
Pounds?
30.
Ooh, that actually, maybe I'm not actually gonna apply.
No, that's a lot in Canadian.
Pounds.
In Canadian, that's it's only $44.
$44.
That's 44,000.
36K.
That's 44,000 Canadian dollars. But hey, there's annual performance bonuses.
Maybe I'm not gonna sign up for that, but. If
It's
you
not- it's
are
not about
interested
the
in
money.
working in Hypixel Studios, go ahead and sign up for this. It doesn't seem like you just need to be a really good communicator and really good deadline person.
There you go.
You need to know the G Suite and the MS Office. Oh, previous experience. Oh, it says right here, essential traits. Previous experience as an HR officer,
Oh,
ideally
shit.
within gaming, software, digital, or media industry. I don't even apply for this.
Dang.
I was never an HR officer.
I don't even know how you become an HR officer. Like,
Previous experience in handling sensitive data, ensuring confidentiality. Okay, yeah. Basically, can you keep an NDA? Is what that's asking.
I mean, we can if
Um,
Hytale wants to know. But
Yeah, the only prereq really is have you done HR before? And unfortunately, I have not.
no, I haven't either. But if you have anybody out there, I mean, I think a lot of people. I mean, there's a lot of people who do HR. So, hey,
Yeah, maybe we got some HR officers listening to the podcast right now. And
Yeah.
look, if you're an HR officer and you've always wanted to work for Hytale, but you've never figured out like, oh, I'm not a game dev right now.
there you go.
Sign up. Sign up. See if you can get the job.
Yeah, free
They
gym
are always
member.
looking for people.
They're offering a gym membership. Like, what else do you really want? And lunch accommodations. So, other than that, I mean, it's golden. It's a golden opportunity. But let's talk about the undead. That's really why we're here today. Hytale, in their most recent blog post, which was December 17th, man, that's later than they normally do a blog. They talked about the undead, which is a new faction, which I guess I would say more got reworked than kind of got added new. But what do you think about that? Because we've already seen skeletons before and zombies and whatnot, but now they're their own undead faction.
So I think this brings us into the first discussion point, which is if the undead are being reworked and it was just skeletons, they weren't a faction before,
Right.
does that leave the opportunity for other like animals or mobs that weren't previously known as factions to become a faction, to be
Ooh, good
like more
point.
unified?
Right.
Are the goblins are
Oh, they
confirmed
gotta
a faction,
be. They
correct?
gotta be a faction. Yeah.
They aren't. Are they like confirmed to be a faction, or are they just
No.
like a species?
I think they're just a species, but they have a boss, so like they really
They-
gotta be a
I
faction.
think they definitely will have a faction rework as well, especially since we saw in the 2024 winter update or summer, my bad. In the summer update, there was a new fan art, or not fan art, an official like concept art image where they were talking about the like different building blocks of Hytale, and we saw a little bit of the goblin rework. This is what the goblins look like now, and I gotta say, whoever drew this, illustration by Ted Artzel. Ted, wonderful art piece. These goblins look
Good job,
so
Ted.
full of life. I'm really excited to see what their in-game models look like based off this artwork. This is a faction that I think has a lot of potential because they're like the goofy ones.
They're kind of
Goofy
cute.
ones.
They're
And
kind
we
of
need
cute
a
now.
goofy faction. They are so cute.
Aren't they? They're really cute now, which is really nice. And I mean, I guess they're kind of really intelligent now. Before we saw in the trailer, I mean, this is a long
They
time
looked
ago.
really stupid.
They
in
did.
The trailer.
Like Buddy
But now
walked off a cliff.
Now they look well. I think we need to take it back.
Yeah.
They look intelligent, but they also look really like
Stupid.
Uh,
They do look really
goofy. I think is goofy or silly. would
Well,
be-
yeah.
silly maybe is the right word. They look like a silly bunch of people. And so even though they might be smart, they might be clumsy, they might drop a bunch of stuff, they might just do a bunch of stupid stuff that might not be seen as intelligent to humans.
Right, and there was a video of one of them, this was a while ago, I think it was a postcard from Orbis, where there was one of them that was juggling bombs, and I would not be surprised if he were to drop that bomb and he goes kaboom. So, that would be interesting as well to see.
Yeah.
But we also, like we said, they have a boss. Like, there's the Goblin Duke. That's clearly a boss. I wonder if you have a boss that maybe might mean you're a faction, because we know. I mean, I don't know if the Quebecs have really a boss besides maybe like the chief of Quebecs. Or whatever,
I don't know if
but-
that decides because any race can have like a higher level version of themselves. I don't think that defines.
Chiefs
that
have the
they're-
chieftain. Scarix have.
Yeah,
I guess the.
but
Brood
even
Mother,
the
but-
chieftain, like the chieftain, doesn't look that different to a Trork. It's just someone higher in the ranks.
Well, he's just like the bigger, scarier, more.
Yeah.
So he's technically the boss. But then there's like the Duke compared to a regular goblin is massive compared to all the other goblins.
Yeah, definitely. He's like the king bee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think goblins have a lot of potential to be another faction. I'm trying to think if there's another like set of mobs that could be a faction, but I don't think we've seen any other faction that show this much personality. I'll say,
Yeah,
apart from the goblins, those were the only other ones that were kind of pushed
because
towards
obviously
us.
the Outlanders and the Chorks and the Quebecs and the Fawns and all of them, they're all
Yeah.
factions. But I wonder if goblins, because you know how the Chorks, they have their like engravings on walls or their Chork runes or whatever. I wonder if the goblins will have their own specific like runes to mark their territory now, if they're a faction.
No, I actually don't think so. And I don't know if factions still do that.
Right, that's
Um,
2019 sort of stuff there. So, or
Yeah,
2018.
I think that's kind of a dead concept. And unless
But it's
they
my favorite
bring up
one.
those runes with factions again, we have to assume it's gone because they also did so many faction overhauls. I mean, fawns don't exist. Fawns were
They
a
died.
faction.
They were supposed to be a Zone 3 faction from what it looks like. So,
But were they ever attached to a rune?
sorry, a rune? Yes, they were actually. Hi, if you go to the concept, where's concept of the game? Media. Why is it not working? Media. There we go. If I go to the media, then I go all the way to where the heck's the concept art on here? Concept.
Fawns, yeah, I see it. I see it. I see it.
You see it, man? You got the. Yeah, so they were little. They had
Yeah,
three
fawns
specific runes.
had a rune. And then even then, we don't even know if Slothians are in the game still.
No,
We don't know
we
what happened to
don't.
them because we only saw two images or one video and one image of the Slothian, and then never again. And it's Zone 4, which we know is kind of like,
Bye.
you know,
Like future DLC, which is
yeah, they're
real
still
sad.
gonna come, but they're not gonna be part of the base game. We'll say
Yeah,
that.
but I hope they don't get rid of everything from this. Like, obviously, they're not going to get rid of, like, Varen and the Gaia symbols, because those are, like,
No,
key
no, no,
parts of
definitely.
Hytale. But,
Yeah, but like
I wish we
especially
had a little bit
because
more.
of the fact, and this is like not related to the thing on the right, the different element runes. These are just like the faction runes to show like, okay, these are
Yes.
our symbols.
Yeah,
And
but I would like
they
to see
can
those.
just get rid of the symbol. I'm curious what the symbols had to do with either the runes or the actual story itself, but it could just be like, hey, this is like some markings for the player to understand, like, oh, this used to be part of this faction.
Yeah, I think it would be cool if you're just walking through Zone 1 and you see those Chork runes on a tree marking their territory.
Yeah.
So maybe you know you're closer to a, like, Chork camp. That's all I really want
definitely.
from it.
Or like some underground stuff, and you're like,
Yeah.
ooh, this is like some ancient stuff.
That's some goblin territory. Or, yeah, exactly. The ancient faction,
exactly,
which was in
exactly.
Zone 4. Why is that village gone? We don't know, but now I guess we'll never know because Zone 4 is not really there. But let's go back to the, who were we talking about?
The undead.
The
Yeah,
undead.
but I think that brings up a good discussion, and I do think goblins have a chance to be a brand new faction alongside the skeletons, because the skeletons we saw, I mean, they were just overworld mobs. We didn't think of them as anything. They didn't feel like anything either. They just felt like, oh, night comes, or whenever mobs spawn, they're going to be there. We're going to have to deal with them, kind of like how zombies in Minecraft spawn at night.
Right.
And now they have their own personality. Now they have their own faction and their own lore, which makes them a lot more interesting than just a regular mob, which I think is such a good idea just in general to put towards mobs, because it makes you connect to them even more. They are not just something that you swing your sword at. They are something with a backstory. They are something with a lore, and it makes you feel more connected and more immersed in the world that you're playing.
Absolutely. And I was just also wondering, like, fence stalkers, would you consider them also, or no?
I think they're a one-time thing.
Yeah,
They were like a very popular mob showed off in the start of the game, because I don't know, they're unique, they're funny.
Like, they're kind of fishmen, like,
you know that gif.
yeah,
That's one of my favorite gifs.
that is a good one. That is a good one.
I know for a fact that clip is going to be used in the #1 Hytale podcast fan now.
Oh yeah, mine just T-posts like a fence stalker.
I should not have done that. I just realized.
Well,
But regardless, yeah, I don't think we've never seen anything other than the fence stalker. We have seen multiple variants of the skeleton. I mean, there's a concept art alone
of the miner right now, like
of the miner, but like of the skeletons, of there being different elemental skeletons. For
right,
example.
yeah. And do you also? I do think also these skeletons will appear at nighttime as well. They'll probably come out of the ground, like maybe not the miner, for example, but just like a regular Zone 1 skeleton with the bow or a sword. I wouldn't be surprised if they just spawn in the middle of the night, as well.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. If you look at the skeleton gears research, first off, why are they called gears?
Which
One Piece reference in the concept art. If you want, I can send it to you on Discord.
I'll find it. Skeleton gears. Found it.
Yep, skeleton gears research. So we have the 4 zones.
Well, maybe he's
zone
got
1 archer, sand
gear 1, 2, 3,
warrior.
4. Fourth gear.
Yeah. But then we have 2 zone 1. We have both an archer, we have a wizard, and then we see warrior. So there's different class, and then there's a soldier. Is the soldier different from the warrior? They look the same.
They look the same to me, yes. But what is the difference? I don't know. Well, maybe the difference is the helmet. I don't know. The armor.
Now I'm very curious about how much of the old skeletons we can even look at to compare with the undead. Because right now the only thing we've seen of the undead is the one undead soldier and the one undead miner. I think it's safe to assume that they might all just look the same now, like the undead. I don't think they're gonna have the different zone variations of the undead.
Yeah, probably
They're all
not.
gonna be kind of uniform, which is kind of sad. But like, can they have the undead and still have the skeletons? Have the zone variant skeletons and then have the undead?
I hope so.
I think most people are assuming, and I mean, rightly so, that the skeletons are just replaced by the undead. What if they're just like separate?
Yeah, they could just be separate like completely, but they look very similar, so I feel like it could be very confusing.
Yeah. The problem is also on the 24 winter blog, the concept art. There's no real way to tell it's the undead. In the concept art, it really just looks like a skeleton. So
yeah, and if you look at
probably the confirmation that it's just skeleton.
Yeah, and if you look at the undead soldier concept art, it looks very similar to the one from
Zone
like,
4
Zone 1.
soldier.
Yeah, Zone 4 soldier. Maybe the only difference is that it has like the fire symbol on it, and that makes it like an undead. Maybe the undead ones are elemental. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
But
it's also the Zone 4 one just looks like way rusted and forgotten. And that one is like the real fresh one. The colors are still bright. Well, obviously the clothes are a little broken, but the undead or the skeleton one is way more rusted. The colors are not showing anymore. It's very monotone.
yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. I wonder though, I do want to know if just so you get this undead soldier from the new blog, I wonder if the colors will change if it goes to Zone 3, 2, or 1. Like, will it be green? We'll have like a green robe for Zone 1. Will it have a, I guess, lighter blue robe for Zone 2, a dark blue robe for Zone 3? You think that's possible?
By change, you mean like if they just like go from Zone 1 to Zone 2, or if they spawn from that zone?
If they spawn from that zone.
Okay, that's yeah.
I mean, if they pass the
I think
border, I'm
that's
sure
likely.
the colors aren't going to change. But
That could be likely. I could also see it being the same though.
yeah, no, I agree. I agree as well.
I could also see it being the same, unless, and we've said this in a previous Hytale podcast, and I think it'd be so cool if Quebec's change based on their biome. And so if you go to Zone 3, you have like some darker, like spruce pine Quebec's. If you go to Zone 4, you have some more tropical, like palm. What other trees? That's the only one I can think of right now. Just like more tropical type of Quebec. And then if you go to Zone 2, you have, I guess Zone 2 would be more palm tree, and then Zone 3 would be like more, I don't know what type of, I just know jungle from Minecraft, but jungle tree is not an actual tree that exists.
No, it's just a big ass tree.
But like, pretend you know what I mean. Just jungle tree.
Yeah,
Quebec.
exactly. Jungle tree Quebec. Yeah, exactly. Jungle Quebec. I mean, even like a dark oak Quebec would be cool if you go by like Minecraft colors.
You know, I learned trees because of Minecraft. Like, I was able to identify, oh, that's a birch tree. Oh, I know what an oak tree is.
Well,
of course I know what an acacia tree is.
Birch trees are very easy to find. They're the only white ones out there. But
birch trees don't exist in Florida. So
oh, you don't have
checkmate.
Them? My neighbor,
No,
my neighbor has a birch tree. Yeah, we have birch trees here.
Yeah, they don't exist here.
Interesting. Do you have ash trees?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, really?
Ash
They're the
tree.
ones that make the acorns.
Nope, those don't exist.
No, you don't have them?
We don't have acorns. Or no, we do. Wait, no, I think we do actually.
Oh, I think they're acorn trees. Ash. Acorn.
We have a variant of them. It's called Florida ash, but they don't look like yours.
Yeah, acorn trees are, I guess they're called. Oh no, they're called oak trees. I'm sorry, not ash. Oak trees. My bad.
Yeah, we have oak. We have
you
oak.
got oak. Okay.
But yeah, I think that's such a funny thing that Minecraft did, and it taught me about like some other things as well as like I didn't know what flint was before, but obviously flint exists in real life.
Right.
I'm so excited to learn more geological and biological things through Hytale that I just didn't know existed.
Yeah, like I'm guessing you don't have maple trees in Florida, or maybe you do. You wouldn't have maple trees.
Okay, but everyone knows what a maple tree is.
I hope so. They're
But
the best tree
I'm
out there.
hoping they add some sort of tree. Well, I'm also an adult now. I learned these things when I was a kid when I didn't know.
Yeah, like we
most
don't
of
have
these
palm
things.
trees here.
So actually, I think, well, no, I still am convinced that there's gonna be a few biological and geological things in Hytale that I have not heard before that I'm gonna learn through Hytale. And
Oh, probably, guarantee it.
because of the higher variety and things in Hytale, I think it's also gonna set up a brand new generation to also learn about those things.
We're all gonna be geologists by the end of Hytale.
True. We're gonna use
I know my geography.
what is that? Use some of the fake ores like redstone.
Yeah.
Redstone, the real ore in human Earth.
Is what? Copper? Like I don't know. Like
Copper is in Minecraft.
Oh yeah, it is now. No, I'm just saying something that conducts electricity well. It would be like copper, really, but then copper's also
yeah.
But yeah, I remember once someone told me this is like my first time ever playing Minecraft that you can like harvest redstone with a bucket. So I was going at it. I was like 10 years old. I was just like right clicking redstone with a bucket. I'm like, it's not working.
Oh, I'm so excited for all the misinformation in Hytale.
Oh.
Like, sorry,
times.
but like, that's gonna be so funny to see what the myths are. Cause you know, like an old,
Yeah.
you know, an old Minecraft myth where it's like sugarcane grows faster on sand than dirt. Don't place it on dirt.
Was it?
And
I don't even know. I don't think so.
well, no, that was a myth.
Oh, was?
Everyone said that, and everyone just always placed it on sand.
Really?
But that's not a thing. It's the same exact growth speed.
Interesting.
You can put it on dirt or sand, but that was like a really big myth. And I'm sure there's a bunch of other ones I can't think of, but that's the only one that comes to mind. So I'm sure there's going to be so many Hytale myths that exist. And
You're gonna bust
I
them.
think who was it? I don't know how to pronounce his name, but there was a Minecraft YouTuber that did like a MythBuster series, and I love watching those.
You should do it in
That's
Hytale.
where I learned that from. It's not Yuo. I'm actually gonna try to look this up.
Sorry, we are back. Sorry. My mom called, asked if I wanted to get a coffee, so very important.
Yeah,
stuff.
and I got the YouTuber's name Xayuma Void or something like that. I still don't know if that's how to pronounce it. I think he says it at the start of every video, but man, difficult name. But he's the one that did the Minecraft myth busting, and so man, there's gonna be so many myths to bust in Hytale.
That would be a really good series on some YouTube channels. I'm personally not going to do it, but mine you should.
And so many myths to create as well. I can't
just make them up yourself.
I cannot wait to spread some rumors in Hytale
and bust them, and then make like a 20-minute YouTube video on it. There's people who did it. I used to watch a lot of Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, Brawl Stars videos all the time. The same guy, like Havoc Gaming, his channel name was. He used to do it at least once a month, busting like 50 myths in a video. He's like, it's busted.
50? There's that many?
Oh, like, well, because they always added like new characters, and then they have different mechanics and whatever. So there's always
okay,
myths
but that's
going on.
not myths. That's just like, okay, how does the character actually work?
Kind of. It's like, yeah, I don't remember how exactly they work, but he called it Mythbusters. So.
All right, small break. We're gonna do a Pokemon.
Oh, let's go!
Unboxing. Hold on.
Hell yeah! You whiffed 3 times.
Let's see what we get.
Is that Charizard? Charmeleon. All right.
Charmeleon.
Okay.
Charmander.
You're gonna go for the trifecta.
Ekans.
Bellsprout.
Bellsprout. Do I get the Charizard? Sandshrew.
Oh, damn. What a
I was hoping for the trifecta, man. I was hoping we get the Charmeleon, we got the Charmander, and we get the Charizard.
That would have been sick live.
That would have been insane.
That would have been
but
crazy.
alas, we did not get the Charizard in that one.
Dang.
Anyway, back to Hytale.
Back to Hytale. Hytale. Isn't there somebody who's making like packs for Hytale, like card packs? We spoke about him.
Card game.
Yeah, we spoke about him on the pod before.
Dude, I need a Hytale gacha. I've already said this as a joke so many times before. If I'm ever making a Hytale server, it's gonna be a gambling gacha server.
Oh, God.
I'm so dead ass, bro. I'm so dead
It's
ass.
gonna get canceled after a week. Of that server.
Okay, but if I'm open about it, like, yes.
Yeah,
it is
you know
gambling
you're
gacha.
scamming people. You just know.
It is a scam, but I'm only saying this right now, and I won't be saying it when I'm promoting it. You know,
add some crypto pump and dumps in there while you're at it.
Okay, but that's like actually illegal scam.
Yeah, I know.
So here's the thing. I like just doing polls. I don't play gachas myself really, apart from like the Pokemon one right now.
Right.
But I like the satisfaction of like once a day logging in and doing my poll. And I know there's gacha people. The people who play really play.
They go at it. No, it's true. It's true.
I played Genshin when it like first released, before it was like mega popular. I mean, it was popular on release. And that was like one of my first introductions into gacha. And I mean, it's fun. Some people get a little too extreme with it. I just do free. I like free pulls. I would let people, because I would want to play a server that gives me like, okay, do I pull a shiny moss horn? Yes, I'm gonna pull a shiny moss horn today.
1% chance of it. Good luck.
I want the free to play to be pretty good. Like, I like the way Pokemon does it. Gives you 2 free pulls every single day.
Yeah.
That's enough for my brain.
And then you can pay for all the other packs, right?
Yeah, I don't need more than that. And so I would want to make it friendly to what I think would be good, which would be like 1 or 2 free pulls a day. So you get your dopamine for the day and you can leave. But like imagine pulling the shiny Varan. Imagine pulling the shiny Varan.
The shiny Varan chromatic, like signed edition. That would be insane.
That'd be insane. But yeah, dude, we need. There's been multiple Hytale card game projects, right?
There has been, unless it's all the same one, just renamed.
I don't think so. We need a Hytale card game.
I swear somebody was working on it, and I swear I DM'd him too, and then I don't know what happened.
Yeah, and then I think there was a different one in Thankmas. I don't remember much about it. Yeah, there was one 4 years ago. This is just Hakon posting it. Hakon.
I'm looking at the same one right now.
A Hytale themed card concept. Card concept I've been working on. No, someone was making an actual game. We're not giving Hakon credit.
No credit for Hakon.
Great.
It did look good.
That concept looked great.
It did look good. But there was somebody.
We need a Hytale card game.
Mm-hmm.
What were we talking about before we got onto Hytale?
Oh, we were talking about the undead, but let's go to viewer questions, because I think we already spoke as much as we can about the undead. We're already 32 minutes into the pod anyway, so you might as well.
Damn.
I know.
That flies fast when you're having fun. Date posted. Okay, let's see.
We also were talking about trees too.
Interactions with the undead. Ooh, good one. T-Rex asks, we know we can have multiple interactions with the factions in Orbis. What do you think some of the interactions could be with the undead? Do you think they're gonna auto hostile target?
I think so.
Unless you're wearing or holding some sort of item.
Yeah, I think so, especially in the mines. They're clearly there to be a bad guy, so I don't see why not.
Well, maybe it's their territory and we're coming into their territory and we're the bad guy.
Yeah, especially the miners. Like, we're clearly entering an old mine shaft where they probably worked and died. I guess that's their lore. So
they're just misunderstood.
They are misunderstood. They are misunderstood.
Scarix also auto attack you. I mean, John talks about this for so much that he. You know, it was kill on sight. He hates the Scarix, blah, blah, blah. And only recently, especially with the rework, he's been like, okay, maybe let me learn about the Scarix. And then we saw in the concept art of the guy like walking in the Scarix nest, and he's like right beside the workers or the babies. So those don't auto target. So there might be a way to become a little friendlier. I don't think there's going to be direct one-to-one communication.
I mean, I would still kill him if you ask me, but I mean, if you're helping them harvest that blue tree-looking thing, then I mean, maybe
the blue goo.
Yeah, the blue goo, exactly. How many times did we say that in our podcast? Blue goo.
Way too many for comfort.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest.
Yep, way too many times. But what was the question again?
The faction interactions.
Oh yeah.
So not only what kind of interactions are we gonna have, which we'll start off first with, but also do they interact with other factions? And we can skip to that second one. I don't think they do. They don't seem like some type of faction that would interact, and if anything, they would be maybe with the goblins.
What do you
They're
mean,
both
like?
cave dwellers.
Well, I don't know if the lore still exists, but the Farons and the Scarricks had a past history, so they clearly interacted at one point.
Yeah.
Will they interact in the story? What we don't know what the Sand Empress is. Is it a Faron or is it a Scarrick? Like, we don't know.
Maybe the undead. Hold on. Actually, like way too like this is not a good theory. This is the very reaching theory.
Okay.
What if the undead are the fawns? Hear me out.
What?
They died. They're extinct. They're not in the game anymore.
Oh, the Fawn. Sorry, I thought you said Farons.
No.
I was like, hold on a minute.
The fawns.
The Fawns. I mean,
Too crazy?
why not? They're back. Let's clickbait.
It would be a story idea to
Clickbait.
incorporate the fawns back in. Like the fawns used to exist 2,000 years ago, and now they're
Outlanders wiped them out.
corpses. Something like that. I don't know.
Maybe the
And
Outlanders
then
wiped them
the
out.
Outlanders wiped them out, and then the fawns, their skeletons, they took the old rusted armor they had, and now they're the undead. Insane theory. I know for a fact there's 2 Hytale devs watching this right now that like, whoa,
He's
whoa,
on
whoa,
to
whoa.
us. He's on to us.
Someone leaked this to him. Promise, no leaks. It's just the mind of an intellect. I'm sorry.
Yep, exactly.
It's just I'm thinking 3 steps ahead.
Wouldn't it be cool if in every faction, in every zone, there was 3 factions, and now there's only 2? So the undead is that dead faction of each zone.
That'd be insane.
That would be
insane.
That would be some crazy lore writers. I mean, you can.
Yo, if this is okay, I think this theory is like so out like far. If these are actually the fawns and that story was accurate, I need to be paid.
Well,
someone needs to pay me.
What did they say in last year's Thankmas? That some things had to be like removed, kind of. Is like that was the wording.
That was not the exact word.
What was the exact? I don't remember the exact wording, but I can't remember the exact wording. But it was something along the lines of that sort of.
Video.
But did they ever officially say that they're not in the code anymore?
I don't have the exact quote because it's from Thankmas.
Yeah.
I have the timestamp of it, but that would be like a 5-minute clip because they ramble about that.
Yeah, they really try to avoid the question. So maybe you're onto something there, Myne. You never know.
Dude, that would actually be the craziest. Because I can see it happening too.
Right? Like imagine like an undead boss just pops up with like goat legs or whatever, and you're like, holy crap, it's a fun.
Goat legs.
Yeah. That would be
Man,
sick.
I want that to happen now, but I don't think it will. I think it's too much of a reach. But do we think that the undead will interact with other factions?
I think so. Like regardless. Like what's stopping like a skeleton?
How would their interactions work though?
But what's stopping like a skeleton spawning in a Quebec village? Like for example, like do the Quebecs just kill it on sight?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Maybe they can't. Maybe they have designated spawning zones.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the Quebec village is bright enough.
Right next
like,
to the spawning zone.
It could be. Like it's very possible. But it's hard to say. We don't really know. Like I mean, I guess we can like friend Quebecs and maybe they can go on missions with us. Like they're in that Gaia's temple back in like the trailer. So, I mean, I guess we could force them to fight skeletons, really, if they're partnered with us.
Okay, I got another theory from Levi. The undead swords have the Varen symbol on them. They must have died using the swords, so the undead are Varen's fallen army. Also, very good theory. I'm going to send you both of the images provided. There is the sword, and here is Varen's symbol.
Right. Let's put that on.
Interesting. Very, very interesting idea here. I can follow along with this. I'm okay with this theory too.
Yeah, I think we talked about that on the last podcast, if I'm not mistaken.
I like the idea that it's Varen's fallen army and then they get risen. Although, would they have red eyes and not purple?
That's the thing. But then in the concept art, where they do get risen, they have like green eyes. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so maybe it's the green that rises them, and then they
Then they get
turn into the army with red eyes.
It's
Could be it.
it's possible, yeah. It's possible. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I think them being Varen's faction could work, but we also have um the Void Spawn, the Void Eye, we have the Void Army. So
Even the Outlanders, like they use
I
Varen magic
and
too.
Outlanders. I'm leaning towards no. I don't think they're Varen, but the theory's there. I like it.
The theory is there. I mean, maybe at one point in the story, Varen ends up controlling everything, and it's just you versus everything else.
Oh, I see a question that we've already answered, and by we I mean I.
Uh-oh.
The undead faction theory. The undead faction will be dead, but like not
Shocker.
dead. Okay, real theory.
Dead but
What
not.
were the undead faction before they died? They look like humans, but we haven't seen many in Orbis. Maybe there used to be way more, but then Varen invaded. Invaded, they all died and then got revived to serve Varen. Terra, brother man, you gotta learn to use commas.
So, I could answer a little bit of this question.
Yeah.
Because we know that Orbis officers did used to exist. And there is a Zone 4 image that I have on the screen right now. There's a skeleton in it. I don't know if it's in the game anymore. But it has the Gaia symbol on its like chest plate, if you use Minecraft terms. And that was clearly a fallen Orbis officer. But now, these undead soldiers, at least the ones in this screenshot that we have of the concept art, those ones do not have the Orbis officer chest plate on it anymore. They have the fire symbol with a robe on it. Unless it's covering what's on that chest plate. But what do you think? Because I think something did happen. Varen attacked, or Kairos attacked. Maybe Kairos went rogue and attacked all the Orbis officers. Now it's just
Yeah, I think
Tesla
Orbis
left.
officers are one of the most interesting lore elements because they are other humans on Orbis.
They at least
We
one
thought
point
we
they
were
were.
the only ones at one point. Yeah, maybe they might be history. I want to know more about Tessa. I want to know about Kairos. And it has been confirmed by John that there are a lot of other characters. And I mean a lot of other characters that we don't know about.
Right.
Someone asked, like, hey, are we ever going to find more about Kairos and blah, 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 those people? He was like, yes, and there's going to be a lot more. So I really want to know about those. What role do they play with us? Were they past officers? Are they in different dimensions? We need to know more about the officers. I think that's such an unexplored path, especially because it's humans. We don't know anything about lore humans.
Right, and there was a thing in Zone 4, this was a while ago, where they released the, what's that land called? I forget what it's called.
The Headlands?
It's like the
Zone 4.
Scorched Ruins. The Scorched Ruins in
Ruins.
Zone 4. There was, like, I don't know, fire, like, in their torches or whatever, you know, the town's abandoned. So that's clearly, or at least at one point, was a place maybe to find another, like, NPC human that somehow survived. But now it's just, maybe it's not in the game anymore, or like we said, it's going to be future DLC when Zone 4 comes out. We don't really know.
Yeah. And we got another theory from Kafusa.
Okay.
The undead is the third world force. Gaia, Varen, undead. We are introduced to the world forces of Orbis pretty early, Varen and Gaia. But we quickly... Okay, you have mistyped Varen multiple times. It's with an N, not an M. Just letting you know. Varim. But we quickly come to learn about, in our adventures, that there is a third. They are known as the Undead, and we are given information on their leader, from either the Quebec Elder or Truk Chieftain, depending on which who you side with. We are tasked with delving into Zone 1 burial chambers. Here we learn the soldiers of the past great war between Gaia and Varen lay rest here. However, that's not quite the case. The undead leader is actually a foul nature bending necromancer. How did he acquire the power to raise the dead and control them? Can we learn from this power too? We eventually kill the necromancer, plaguing Zone 1 to be greeted with a sinister laugh from beyond the world of Orbis. Something so strong it makes this already powerful necromancer look like undead fodder to the bones of the necromancer come to life, but without its freedom. I speak with you and only you now. Will you choose to be cursed with knowledge, or will you walk away? The Lich King cursed with knowledge, an all-powerful being as the likes of Gaia and Varen. A one true evil, he was controlling this necromancer this whole time. If you seek answers and wish to be burdened with knowledge, you will come to Numdrazil. There you will find what's yours.
This
There you will meet your final resting place. He invited you to your doom. Will you accept or will you run?
I'm accepting. So we're getting a
I'm accepting.
we're getting a World of Warcraft boss.
We're getting a World of Warcraft boss, I guess. Look,
All right.
on a realism scale, it probably doesn't match up, but on a coolness scale, I want this.
Yeah, no, definitely cool. I mean, imagine like a third godlike entity in the world instead of Varen and Gaia. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be those two.
I mean,
but that would be sick. Like
the Lich King, bring it, baby.
I mean, maybe instead of the Lich King, maybe just throw in like the Void Dragon or something.
Yeah, now I'm curious if this is like an alternate path to the story, or this is like the main actual path, and it's like, hey, by the way, ignore Gaia Varen. Let's learn from
Fight the Lich
King about the truth of Gaia and Varen.
Oh yeah, because we could trust him. I'm sure he's a great guy.
Oh yeah, I mean, with the name of the Lich King, what is there to go wrong?
Yeah, you know? Like the Lich King, he's got a, I don't know, he's got these. I'm looking at him right now. He looks kind of menacing. That's from what I know. I've never played World of Warcraft, but.
This is the image that that Kafusa sent. I'm gonna DM it to you.
All right. Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah, very creepy.
That's like nowhere near the blue Lich King that I'm looking at on.
Holy shit, Hawk-On! How much did you type? Okay.
Let's skip over that one.
Well, he's the last one. He's the last one, but man.
All right, Hawk-On.
A paragraph, but I think he actually has proper punctuation.
Oh, hell yeah!
Look, some of these posts are not written in a way that is friendly to read. I'll just say that much.
Maybe you're just a bad reader.
Look, we know that. We know that.
Yeah.
Okay. In Hytale, the decision to give the undead crimson eyes instead of blue was clearly deliberate, inviting players to speculate about their origin and nature. This choice, along with the timing of revealing the reworked undead, suggests that the developers want us to think deeply about this faction's place in the world. Here's my theory. Varen's forces and the Outlanders have green eyes, clearly signifying their connection to void magic. This suggests that glowing eyes in Hytale represent the type of magic a being is imbued with. By this logic, the crimson-eyed undead are not tied to void magic, but something entirely different. I like how we said.
Okay, alright.
The distinction is crucial, as the undead appear to be a significant faction, with concept art depicting skeletons across at least 4 of the game's zones. Their widespread presence implies they are a universal threat, independent of Varen's influence. We also agree with this. If the undead were never connected to Varen and the absence of green eyes supports this, it could indicate that the developers are intentionally separating them from the Orbis's void-related narrative. This distinction would benefit Hytale as a platform. By creating a versatile undead faction unbound to a specific storyline or world, players could include them in custom worlds and stories without invoking direct ties to Varen or Orbis. This versatility aligns with Hytale's vision as a gaming creation platform. The question arises, if the undead are not tied to void magic, what magic animates them? While fire magic is red, it seems unlikely that the undead are tied to any of the elemental magics, as this would bind them to a specific zone. For example, ice skeletons wielding fire magic would feel incongruous. Additionally, fire magic typically invokes the shades of orange rather than the deep crimson seen in the undead's eyes. Crimson is often associated with blood and life force, hinting at a possible connection to a new type of magic beyond the existing elemental and void magics. This could be vitality magic, tied to the manipulation of life and death. Alternatively, Hytale might draw inspiration from alchemy and the Philosopher's Stone, a legendary artifact linked to the elixir of life and immortality. This fit would be the undead's theme, as they could be remnants of an ancient civilization that sought immortality, but became cursed, transforming into mindless creatures. Another possibility is that the undead are creations of a powerful entity separate from Varen. This antagonist might have used vitality magic for dark purposes, while introducing a new villain would add narrative depth. Keeping the undead faction generic might be more consistent with Hytale's emphasis on player creativity and adaptability. Such a widespread faction shouldn't be tied to Orbis, so if there's a villain behind the undead, they might not embody their magic as Varen does with void magic, but instead use it to pursue personal ambitions such as immortality. Either way, it must have been someone trying to obtain immortality, most likely so that they could live until the day we get voice chat in Hytale.
Oh, okay, of course. Of course. He had to end it with that. What a theory, by the way, and I can actually kind of see it happening. While you were talking about that, I was just scrolling through every single screenshot we've ever gotten in Hytale just to take a look at skeletons.
Yeah.
And all their eyes, before this rework, were all blue. They were all blue. And I thought, oh, cool, the ones in Zone 2 are blue, so maybe the ones in Zone 1 are going to be green. But no, they're all blue, which is kind of interesting. But this new theory of a boss that wants kind of like eternal life or whatever, I wonder if it was someone on like Gaia's side, for example, because we see now that the Orbis officers are all dead, right? What if it was somebody on Gaia's side that kind of flipped sides or just kind of left Gaia, and instead of, you know, fighting against Varen and Gaia or whatever, they decided to pursue necromancy, took a section of the whatever it's called, the Orbis officers, did experiments on them, that's why they're all dead, and now still trying to reincarnate all of them with his eternal life magic. And now that's why they're all red. Perhaps. But I don't know. It could just be Kairos. Who really knows? What do you think? Oh, is he frozen? Mine. You're back. You're back. You were frozen
Am
for
I?
a second. You're back. Okay.
Is my camera still working?
Yeah, your camera's working.
I don't see anything on Discord right now. I see the Discord loading screen, but if my camera's working, that's fine.
I can hear you and I can see you, so keep going.
I wasn't saying anything.
Oh. Did you hear what I said?
No, not at all.
Oh. Nice.
That's fine. The viewers did.
The viewers
right?
did.
Did
I know. Well, you kind of went like I don't know. You put your hands on your knuckles, I guess, and then you just pause. I'm like, oh, he's really thinking. But then you were just frozen.
No, you were gone for like an entire minute for me, and I was like, what is happening?
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude, I missed like an entire minute.
All right, so let me rephrase what I said. So, I liked his theory about, I don't know, another boss, because, I mean, we just spoke with the Lich King as well, which is really
I was
cool.
about to say, it sounded very similar to the previous theory.
I wonder where he got his inspiration from, but I wonder if I was saying that this second boss, what if it was like kind of like a fallen Orbis officer, kind of maybe like what Kairos is, and he did experiments on the current Orbis officers back in the day, and that's why they're all dead now, and he's using them as like experiments.
I like
still.
the theory of it like being with immortality. I think that's a fun concept. I also like the idea that it's not bound to one of the existing elements,
right?
Which I completely agree with. I like the idea that their element is life and death, or like some sort of death magic. So
we kind of have like,
also cool.
We got creation, Gaia's power. We got like void and destruction, and I guess anti-gravity for Varen because he has that super cool arm. And then this third made-up boss out of thin air of what, life and death?
Vitality magic.
Yeah, life and death, which does kind of cover all of the main points of kind of overpowered bosses here.
Yeah.
So, unless there's something I'm missing, but. Yeah, I like the idea.
I think yeah, it's a good theory. I think he's reaching, and he's the thing he's reaching the most with, and this is like, why did you even type this? There's one major flaw with it, and you said
voice chat,
so that they could live until Hytale gets voice chat.
Sure, buddy.
That was probably the worst.
I still haven't even watched his voice chat video.
I have not watched it either. Look, I will probably do a reaction to it at some point.
Let's just watch. We'll do a podcast reacting to his video. It'll be like 2 hours. That would be like a 2-hour podcast.
That'd be way too long, bro.
It would be hilarious.
I would pause every 2 seconds.
Yeah. Let's break this clip down. Just stop and analyze the situation. Anywho, it's been 53 minutes, Myne.
Yeah, pretty long episode. We talked a lot about the undead. Let us know your theories in the YouTube comments. About the undead. I'd love to hear. Do you agree with any of the theories that were said? Do you agree with or don't agree with any of the theories, or do you have your own theories? Let us know down in the comments. Make sure to join the Discord because that is where we ask questions like this, and you can answer them, and we will make sure to answer all of your questions in the podcast questions, right? Yeah, it's called Pod Questions. That's the channel. Write your questions for us to answer on the pod, and we will get to it. We will see you guys in the next Hytale podcast episode. Until next time.